Hey there. So I'm going to do a debate right now, ladies and gentlemen. And this debate is going to be based off of video games versus board games. So my first debate option is my pro side. I think that video games are fantastic, a fantastic game to play. And there's a couple reasons for that. The first reason, of course, for why video games are the best to play is the technology. The technology has come very, very far since my parents even started playing video games. It's way easier to start a video game. The way that you start is you simply just turn on the console. You select the game that you want to play with a controller that can be wireless, so you can do it from the comfort of your couch or your bed, and you just get on in and start the game. It even has save points and load points, so you don't have to really pick it up later. Now, there also is rating systems, and there's games that are fun for really any age, which is a huge boon because some board games, once you buy the game, there's no way to increase the level of difficulty or rather, kind of dumb it down. If you have a game that's very difficult, you're going to spend a lot of time teaching your players. If you have a game that's very easy, it's going to be boring. Take Candyland, for instance. I don't know what adult really enjoys playing 5 games of Candyland in a row. Yeah. But at the same time, with a game like chess as a board game, well, you're going to spend a lot of time teaching people. But video games, you got games that are for everyone. You got games that are more mature for those audiences. In my opinion, video games are the best games to play. Now, on the con side, you have board games. Board games are the better game to play, and here's why. Now, I know you heard just from our lovely video games, and a lot of kids love playing video games, but I got to talk to you about family friendly. Board games are a great way to involve your own whole family and to be social. Now, something about being social is kind of lost on this day and age. We are much more in tune with our devices, with being able to look at our phones, play games on there, or our tablets, of course. We can play games on there, but we are a lot less inclined to talk to people. This is an opportunity for us to talk with them. And also, board games are not that violent. Whereas on the other side, you look at video games, you got a lot of violence over there. Now, board games also cost less. We're not looking at a AAA game that costs $59.99 for console, or looking at something on Steam for your PC gamers. When you're looking at a board game, you're looking at anything from $20 to $40. And that board game has a lot of pieces and a lot of setup. But while that's true, it's also something that you can have forever. Now, health. Let's talk about health for a second. Board games allow a lot of players to move around. They allow you to see things from multiple angles. They allow you for spatial orientation. They allow you to talk to people. Your mental health is important. And most games, except Monopoly, let's leave that one aside, most games don't have you rage at the other person. So board games are the best game to play. So now we have our counter arguments. Our counter arguments are here. So for the pro side, we're going to do the counter argument for what we thought about the board game side. So the first counter argument that I have for the video games, for the board games, is quite honestly, board games themselves, you need multiple players in the room. That just isn't possible all the time. You can't immediately start a game, hit up your friend on Discord or hit up your friend in the game's social components, their friends components, messaging them while they're at home. No, you all have to be present. And especially in a day like, our pandemic age, this is not possible. It's not something that we can do. Now, another counter argument from the board game side. While it's true that you can't necessarily have a bunch of people with you, you can get closer to your family. In video games, you might not know who it is that you're playing with. Yeah, you could have a friends list, but you might not know that that friend that said that they were, 12 years old just like you, they could be somebody much older, somebody that you shouldn't be spending time with, somebody that your parents wouldn't approve of. So board games are a safer option. You know who's playing with you in front of you. Now, from personal experience, if we're looking at debates and personal experience, there is a lot of times when I've played, of course, many video games. Uh, you definitely know that I am a gamer. I have multiple games on Steam. I have my own Switch. I have a phone. I have a tablet. I have a PlayStation 4. I also have an Xbox One. I play a lot of games, and that has been true even from when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I played in the arcade. I would save up money and go to what's called Nickel City. I don't even know if there's Nickel City anymore, but I would go to Nickel City and I would play on those arcade games. And I love this X-Men game. It was fantastic. You got to play as Nightcrawler and Wolverine and Gambit and Storm. Anyway, and you go up through multiple levels of fighting Sentinels and other beings. That was fun to me. I really enjoyed that. And sometimes I would be able to play with friends. Video games have always been a part of my life. Now, for the personal experience of the board game side, even now as an adult, I get together with friends and I play board games. Now, it has been quite limited from the pandemic. I'll give you that, but I still do play board games online. Now, while some might say that that is a video game, it does have the element of being social with people in an environment that was similar to what we had in real life. But you are correct in saying that right now it is very difficult in the pandemic. But being able to play board games with your family, this is some of the best memories I have with my family. I'd play with my dad and my mom, and we'd play all different types of games. One of my favorite games was a card game, actually, which is not necessarily a board game, but it was Canasta. It's still on the same kind of similar thought. So, board games have that opportunity for nostalgia. Well, so do video games, of course. Conclusion. So, for me, if I'm looking at a video game as the pro side, I would say that video games really, truly are the best game. And the reasons why that we did mention was the technology. That's a huge one. Technology has come so far, it's so realistic now. It's super easy to start a game. I mean, really, truly, you just turn a game on and you're there. You're ready to go. And there are rating systems, so it can be fun for any age. Now, for the conclusion for the con side, board games truly are the best game, and here's why: they cost way less. There's no there's no way that you're going to spend $60 on a AAA game or a board game. It's good for your mental health. You need to be social. You need to be able to be with your family, to be with friends. It is family friendly while we said that, but you also know who's in front of you when you're playing that game. You're not limited to just an online interaction or stuck with a device playing that game without being around people. And you learn those social skills that you'll need even for the workplace. Thank you very much for listening to this debate, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did in preparing for it. Thank you.